Hello everyone, welcome back to my YouTube channel. Today I'll be recapping my round 5 game in the Dewain Barber National Tournament of Middle School Champions. Now going to this game, I was at 2 out of 4, and in the 5th round I am playing a 2144 rated player. Now I was already kind of dejected after my round 4 game and the mistakes I made then, that once I saw that I was playing another high rated player, I'm like, okay, I have to take my chances this game. And fun fact, this guy is from California South. He was representing California South, and I actually beat California North in round 2 against the 2200. So I'm like, okay, the chess gods, they just want me to beat both Californias, want me to gain some good rating. You know, I should probably take my chances this game. Anyway, he played the Sicilian and played the classical variation. Now, against every Sicilian, I always played the English attack, which is f3, bishop e3, queen e2, castles, and g4. Now, the reason why I didn't go f3 is because I thought he had queen b6 here. And I forgot about the cool trap line where you, like, trap the queen, like, a really cool way. Like, I remember studying it before, but I just forgot about it in this instance. Probably because of the nerves. The trap line goes bishop e3, queen b2, and knight c b5. Now, if knight takes d4, knight c7 check, king d8, and bishop takes d4, attacks the queen. If queen b4 check, you have c3, you're winning the rook, attacking the queen, and you're probably most likely going to win the game. Now, let's just say if he doesn't take on d4, he goes like king d8. The black queen can only go to one square. How do you stop that? You go a3. And let's just say, like, if he makes, like, a random move, like, let's just say, like, a6 or something like that, you have, like, a really cool, like, rook b1, knight c3, queen a3, knight takes c6 check. Like, this is, like, just, like, some really cool, like, line here that I just forgot about. And like after a3, you're gonna trap the queen regardless. Like you're gonna go like bishop c4, like let's say like a random move, like you can go have bishop c4. Every like thing is like every square is like done, and you'll just get rook b1. Now I didn't do that. I went bishop to g5, and after e6, like I'm not so sure even now. I'm pretty sure you can go f4 here, and after queen b6, like the same type of thing will happen. But I don't play those type of structures. The thing is, like, you have to go f4. I think like some sort of queen f3, like long castles, and like g4. And I don't really know that very well, so I just go queen d2, long castle, and then go f3. The same like English attack, but like bishop on g5. Let's see like what difference it makes. So he trades the knights and goes bishop to e7. And after I just follow my plan g4, and he plays a very weird move. He plays h5, and already here I start to think. I'm like, okay, like he obviously wants to take. I go bishop to e2, because I want to like, my plan here now is, if takes, I take. Like I have this open f file, which is really nice. Possibly I could go h4, rook f1. That seems really good for me. And like, let's just say if he doesn't take, like after bishop e2, I was gonna go h3 and f4 to defend, and that seems really nice. Like I could go f5 then, maybe even e5, and after bishop to c6. See, I was wondering if he could, in this position, if he could take on e4. Now I deducted no, because after knight e4, bishop g5, king b1, like this is under attack, this is under attack, g5 is under attack, and also like I could just go for this. Queen takes e7, queen g7, and I like this position for me. This seemed like a decent type of position. I'll probably have queen b4 here, attacking this, and actually no, you'll see later in this game, I have something like this also. I have something like this. So anyway, after bishop to e2, he goes bishop to c6 here, and I just follow up with the same plan, h3. Now, after h3, I'm like, okay, he can take on e4. Like, h3 is a mistake because he can take on e4, which, like, equalizes the game for black. Now, after knight e4, I'm thinking, okay, like, I'm thinking like 5-10 minutes here because I already know, like, I could do this and take on g7. I just want to see if I can take on e4. Now, I deducted no, I cannot, because after this, I'm like, okay, everything, like, he has to take. And after f4, like say bishop f6, after all this, like I'm not better. Black might like go here, rook c8. I might just bring my rook here. I'm not like it's an equal position, and I didn't really want that. So after knight e4, all this, I'm like okay, queen e4, and if castles, I have bishop to d3. I have pawn f4. I'm gonna march through. I should be doing really good here. Now, after queen e4, I said no because of d5. And if I queen e5, bishop f6, I didn't like this position at all. I had no attack, even though I had opposite-colored bishops. See, like, the only reason why I went for this is because I thought, okay, if I had opposite-colored bishops, usually it's known as a draw. It's only known as a draw when you're in endgames. When you're in middle games, opposite-colored bishops can be a great tool used for attacking because the other bishop cannot match what what each other do. Now, after knight e4, I just do the same thing and queen d7 castles. The only difference is that the bishop's on c6 here, and I don't think it means a lot. Actually, I think it's better for me because I have queen c3 now. I bring my queen back in the game. I have bishop a6 coming. And actually, with the bishop on c6, the rook is defending, so probably it's a little bit better. He goes king c7, defending the bishop, and here I go f4. See, what I'm thinking here is like, okay, like we both have white squared bishops. I should probably try to control the dark squares, so f4. And I see like he can go e5, d5, like have this nice pawn mass. So f4 is like a good controlling move. I could get bishop f3, rook to e1. I like my position. Now after f4, he goes king b8 because I cannot take anymore because of h1. So I go rook hf1. I go rook hf1 because I'm like, okay, I kind of want to shove this pawn forward maybe, like, or bishop f3. Maybe I should have went rook he1. Possibly this is probably better because it's opening, like it's on an e file. More active. Now, anyway, it's still fine. He trades pawns, getting like this open h file for himself, and goes rook to c8. Now, here I was starting to like my position because of the move queen to b4. Now, after queen b4, I'm threatening two different pawns. I'm threatening bishop takes a6. Oh wait, bishop a6. I'm threatening I'm threatening this pawn. Now he can't defend both. He cannot defend both. But what he can do is try to go for activity, which is rook h4. Now the computer wants him to go rook to h2. I don't think it's much. I actually think rook h4 is better on like a human standpoint because you're attacking a pawn and you can still get this like other rook on this h file. Now here, this is where my dumbness comes into play. This is like my really dumb decision. Now, when you're playing a high-rated player, the psychology is, okay, not like I'll try and win, but like a draw is fine. Now, if that basically what I'm trying to say is queen takes d6 is probably the best move here. Now, the reason why I didn't go for this is because let's just say after like bishop d5 or king c7, I just felt like these weren't like the best winning chances, but I can never lose here. And I should have gone for the position where I can never lose, because I can press and press and press like Magnus Carlsen. Now I'm like, okay, if I keep the pieces on the board, I have more winning chances. But with what I do here, I have a high capability of messing up because I'm playing a high-rated player, so maybe he can catch me off guard. And there's like a lot of like tricky like pins and stuff like that. Like this like pin holding this, like I'm holding this. It's very like it's like holding on like a very like, thin rope, something like that. And he goes rook to g2, getting the most counterplay, and I go bishop to d3 now. See, I get out of the pin, and now I'm like, okay, queen d4, and the difference is I keep pieces on the board, and potentially that increases my winning chances. Now, remember when I said he can catch me off guard or something? Yeah, he actually does. He plays bishop b5. He hits me with this, a brilliant move. And now, I go from having, like, a perfect position where I can never lose, to me finding an only move, and if I don't find this, I'm probably gonna lose. Now, the only move here for me is king to b1. And you know what's funny? After the whole variation ends, I can probably still lose, because you'll see later on. So the whole point is after takes, rook c2, I have rook b6 defending the queen. He'll do all of this. Okay, hold up. He'll do this. Now, like, let's just say like queen c5. It's 3-on-3. The queen's probably better because these pawns are split. The rooks are not coordinated, and with best play and with like the knowledge of a computer, you should hold this. But I'm a human, so it's actually kind of hard. Like, let's just say like something like this. Like, this is very uncomfortable. Like, I cannot bring my king because I queen check. I could still lose, but at least I have some drawing chances. Now, I didn't see that. And now I started to get panic mode, and I'm like thinking in my mind, oh my god, no way I just threw this position from having like this, where I could possibly never lose here. And now I'm like I'm like so mad at myself. I'm like, okay, well, I have to make a move. So queen takes b5, and here I was already like calculating before. I'm like, queen takes b5. I have queen takes d6. I'm like, okay, bishop to e4. Now, the reason why I didn't do this in an instant, because I'm like, okay, queen d2 check, king b1. I'm thinking, okay, I'm attacking the rook, I'm doing this. Now, if rook to c7, if takes queen c2. But I could have queen a8 check. If c8, I'll repeat the position. And if king a7, I have queen a4 check. And the difference is now I'm defending c2, and I can take on g2. It's 4-on-3, and I'll probably have a slight advantage. Now, the reason why I rejected this is because I had like an oversight. Like, I like my brain was not thinking here. I thought he had this. Now, let me tell you something. He actually does have this, which can equalize the position. And I'm like, okay, like this, okay, I'm fine to have this at this point. Like 3v3. Black's probably slightly better because of this 2v1. It's like his pieces are more active, but I can hold this position very easily, I think. Or maybe not very easily, but I can hold this position. Now, I'm like, okay, he has this. Oh no. And then he has this. And then he has all this and queen c1. Bruh, it's a free queen here. But and I'm like, had I seen that I had a free queen, I probably would have won queen takes b5 in an instant. Now, let me tell you, I went a3 here. Let me tell you the real reason why it's bad. He actually has queen c7. He's defending b7, and I could not take on g2 because queen c2 checkmate. So I have to spend it like pushing him forward. After rook g4, black's probably gonna win the game now. So I'm like, okay, well, I'm just kicking myself at this point. Like, I'm so mad at myself. The computer thinks I should go here, and maybe I could have now. I was thinking, like, half considering this, like, you know, it's pawn, like, freezing these two, like, but I'm like, okay, this pawn's also weak. Maybe he'll, like, perhaps I should bring my king up. Maybe it's not so easy to win. It's actually not so easy to win, but I'm just so mad at myself, so I make, like, apparently, which is another mistake now. a3, queen e5 is the best move, and he goes queen c5, allowing to trade queens, and I make another mistake here, queen b3, and now after rook g1, we trade off the rooks. Now, after king b1, all this happens, and now he's forking the bishop and the pawn, and now I'm just like, bro, after this, I'm like, sitting in shock like now, like this. I'm like, no way no way this happened. I'm like crying inside. Bro, I had a dream position earlier where I could never lose. Like, why didn't I just go for that, you stupid. I'm like, okay, well, the game's not over yet, so obviously I'm gonna try to hold on. Like, I go a4, so like, I guess, like, move my queen and get my pawns together. Like, I'm just making some moves at this point. You know, I check him, rook c7, and here I go queen f6. See, I'm stopping these two pawns from ever moving. Like he has two connected. Like, my only chance is to give him checks and to stop these two pawns. Now, he goes queen e7, I go queen h8 check, queen d4, queen c5, and the same position happened. See, I'm trying to get into the same position, so he can spend time. He's actually like time pressure with like 5 to 10 minutes left, and I just want to frustrate him. So I defend my pawns. All this happened, and here he had like a good, somewhere here, he pushes his pawn. Now, I think like, yeah, he goes rook d6. Perhaps he should just forget about, like, his other pawn, queen e6, f3. I'm like, okay, queen f5. I'm gonna go queen f5. If f2, like, me, I'll move my king out of the way. That's what I'm gonna do. That's my only chance. All this happens, and now, here I find, okay, I have, like, one more trap left. I go a5, and after queen b4, I go a6. Now, in this position, he actually had a really nice move that just ends the game. Rook takes c3. And the point is, after all of this, I actually calculated all of this. Believe it or not, I actually had a brain now. I saw all this. I'm like, okay, A takes B7. Like, he's promoting, and king B7, queen E6. I'm like, perhaps it's still lost for me. Maybe it is because my king, I think my king needs to be like over here or over here. My king needs to be over here, I think. Like, you always want the king out of the way so that your queen can start checking the other king. Now, after all this, I end up seeing queen c4 check, defending the pawn, and after all this, king takes b7, it's winning, he has the two connected, probably should win the game. Now, I didn't see that in the game, actually, and neither did he. I only saw this after the game, but he ends up doing what I want, which is b takes a6. Now I'm like, okay, I'm down material anyway, I might as well go for this. Now, he has up an exchange and a pawn, but the whole point is, after all this, his pawn, there's no more pawn shield, and I have this, like, nice rank, which I can start checking him. And perhaps if I, like, stop his pawns and just be weird, maybe I can frustrate him, and he'll blunder, like, some sort of perpetual, or maybe even, like, some sort of weird checkmate. Now, I go queen f8, stopping him and, like, pinning him, this weird thing, and I just start checking him, and I go queen e8. Now, I'm like gonna come over here. See, I'm just being weird and just being very annoying in general. And after queen a8, he goes king c5. Now his king's in the open. And I go queen f8 here, now stopping his pawns. Now after a5, I'm like, okay, well, now he has like now I'm a weak score over here. Some weak light squares, so let's try to take advantage of it. So I first go queen h8. If f4, queen e5 check. And you know what? Maybe I can hold this somehow. So it stops him from pushing his pawns, because he can't go e5 because takes. And actually no, if he goes e5, funny enough, I'm probably not even, like, somehow if I get all these pawns, I'm probably not even that much worse. After queen h8, he does a smart thing. He repeats move, because you get a 30-second increment. It's like g90 with a 30-second increment. So he gets an extra 30 seconds, and he repeats the position twice. Now if he does something, if he goes king c5 one more time, queen h8, it's a 34 repetition, I'm gonna claim it, yeah, all that. And then he finds a nice move, rook takes d3. Now after all this, he goes queen d6, and now the whole point of this is, he now can slowly bring his pieces up. Like, I have no more, like, play left. Like, he's up a pawn, but now he can easily push his pawns, which is what he does. I defend my pawn, he pushes his pawn. He, like, slowly just, like, pushes everything to hit my side. And then slowly but surely, he wins all my pawns. And after queen c3, I end up resigning the position. Now, why do I resign? Because I'm forced to trade queens. He'll just promote his pawn, and it's just easily lost. Now, this was a very heartbreaking game. From having, let's go all the way back. Now, from having this position where I can just take on d6, and I'm never losing this position. Like, it's up a pawn, I'm never losing this position ever in the world. Well, and going to this, it's very frustrating. Yeah. Well, anyways, that's all for today. Hope you all enjoyed the video. If you did, you can hit that like and subscribe button. And yeah, goodbye everyone. I'll see you all in the last recap.